Hey guys, my name's Chris and this is Financial Fitness, and today I want to talk to you about the upcoming food shortage, the fertilizer crisis, and the awesome people in the comments. Let's go. I'll be over by my welding truck. Jose's making too much noise. But I got some things I got to talk to you about, and I'm going to be called a fear monger. I'm going to be called I'm selling loosh or something like that. But that's just not the case. What I'm doing is I'm trying to bring you news that I think is important, that is absolutely happening in real time. And, you know, I've been preaching food shortage and all kinds of different things that have been happening, and they are happening. And thanks to you people in the comments, sending me comments of what's happening around you, I was able to read those off, and people weren't able to call me a fearmonger. When there's like 20 people in the comments saying the same thing of stuff they're actually seeing, you know, that's really cool. That's a really cool community. And as I get into this fertilizer shortage and we talk about millions of people that are going to be hungry in the future, send me some comments of what you know, because I've got friends, and I've got friends of the family. I've got several people that I know that are struggling with this fertilizer issue. I mean, these are big ranchers and huge farmers. They're struggling trying to figure out what to plant because, well, we'll get into it in a minute, but it takes so much fertilizer to grow certain crops, and fertilizer has quadrupled. And it's not just us, it's globally. We're having a global fertilizer shortage. You know, we're starting to experience over the last year, couple years, pestilence. That's supposed to be happening towards the end of this creation. And now we're starting to experience famine. And these things are building on top of one another. It's really starting to snowball. So please leave me comments about what's going on around you, and I will read them off. Keep it classy, keep it factual and true, because this kind of community is all we got. You can forget about getting real news from somewhere else, you know, some news channel. But if we can get people to talk about it, what's happening right where they're at, things they see with their own eyes, that's a really cool community. And by the way, I'm getting people to calling me telling me they've been unsubscribed. Please look and see if you've been unsubscribed and let me know if you have. My own mother got unsubscribed. I had friends, 3 of them called me yesterday, said they don't get my notifications anymore. I think it's because the powers that be on the YT don't want to bring this to light. They don't want you to know the truth. So push the like button, subscribe, and send this message out to people, because this is getting real. Now, in order to read this, I'm gonna have to sit down. Let's check it out. Hey, when I made this video at work, I was on my way home and I found out about the fertilizer fire in North Carolina. It's really sad. It was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I stayed there working a shutdown a while back. It's a beautiful city. I had a really good time. But it burned up 300 to 600 tons of fertilizer. Now, that's not the bad news. The bad news is it burned it to the ground. Roll the footage. This is the Weaver Fertilizer Plant in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I can't imagine running towards this as a fireman. It'd have to be a fireman's nightmare to run towards ammonium nitrate. And it was exploding. They evacuated people. But it's gone. Now, I'll get back to the rest of the fertilizer crisis that we're going through right now. This is just more, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. I'm not sure how we come out of this fertilizer thing, but it's getting a little bit suspicious at this juncture. Let's go. This was off the Zero Hedge. I'll put a link in the description below. And I don't know the guy that wrote this. I don't know his deal, but it sure sounds like the friends I've been talking with. I'm gonna read you the headline. I'm gonna get straight into the quotes. Farming Insider warns the coming food shortages are going to be far worse than what we are being told. That's because the people that are trying to tell it are being censored. Quote, Things for 2022 are interesting and scary. Input costs for things like fertilizer, liquid nitrogen, and seeds are like triple and quadruple the old prices. It will not be profitable to plant this year. Let me repeat, the economics will not work. Our plan is to drop about 700 acres of corn off and convert it to soybeans. They use less fertilizer and will also have chicken manure for that operation. Guess what? We are not the only ones with those plans. Already, there is a shortage of soybeans, so we will see how that will work out. The way I see it, there will be a major grain shortage later this year, especially with corn. There's a little more to it, but I'm going to put it in the link. I'm going to put a link below so you can read it for yourself. There's also, it goes on to talk about Africa and what's going on over there. Coffee, get into it and check it out, but just know what I want to do. I'm not a farmer, but I like food too. I like animals that eat the food that the grain feeds. And I know everybody's thinking, no, you should only eat grass-fed. Well, what you don't understand is people that have these comments, and I read them all the time, they're like, well, you shouldn't be eating GMO corn, or you shouldn't be eating this, or shouldn't be eating that. Well, look, all of the globe does. If you took all that away, there wouldn't be enough food for everybody. And then they're going to be eating the food you want. So we need all the food we can get. I want to read this last thing to you. Over in Africa, fertilizer prices could result in 30 million metric tons less food produced. Fertilizer demand in sub-Saharan Africa could fall 30% in 22, according to the Internal Fertilizer Development Center, a global nonprofit organization. That would translate to 30 million tons of food less. The center says it's equivalent to the food needs of 100 million people. I'm going to keep bringing these stories about fertilizer because that is our future crops. I know the guys I know are trying to get ready the best they can for what's coming. One of my buddies is trying to grow corn himself to, feed his animals. So just know it's happening. And just because you're not seeing it in your area, I get comments about, it's not happening here, must not be happening anywhere. Just do your best to try not to be closed-minded. And know the people in the comments are some of the most awesome people on the face of the earth, and they're not liars, and they're trying to tell the truth and spread the word. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. I will see you tomorrow.